Welcome back to the shooting channel, and today we're going to do a film about buying your first gun or picking up your first gun, because I've had lots of messages about people. They see all the YouTube channels, they see things post all over Facebook, and a lot of people, when they're first getting into the sport, they're confused. There is hundreds of gun manufacturers on the market. There's hundreds of cartridges, and the biggest thing that I want to say is, when you look at this, when you want to buy your first gun, you've had your have a go, the biggest thing I would say is watch the YouTube channels by all means, but go to your local shooting school. But before you do that, set yourself a budget, and set yourself a budget for your whole kit. So set yourself a budget for your gun. You need to have a skeet vest, and I would suggest you do it. There's a lot of skeet vests on the market at the moment. In my eyes, I think Sealands is about the best of the cheapest ones that you can get on the market. And it's all to do with this, how big it is. There is a couple on the market. I'm going to say one that's Jack Pike, that I would honestly say they're cheaper, but they're so thin here, they're just not great. The Sealand one, it's about having the width here, and it's about having the whole thing right down there, so you can slide the gun up. These are 65 quid. You can get them a lot cheaper. A lot of people, a lot of the big Sealand dealers can do them cheaper, but this is about the budget skeet vest that I would suggest to go to. There's lots of other cheaper manufacturers out there, but I'm going to say the Sealand one is about the cheapest that you want to go for practical products. Again, I've got a pair of the Evolution glasses. These are £20. Again, there are cheaper on the market, but you've got to make sure that they are right glasses. These are very tall here, there, and that's what you're looking for. No rim. And again, these don't sponsor us. These don't advertise on the channel. I feel that realistically, these are one of the best ones. If you want to go up, then I'm going to be completely honest, the Castellini ones are probably the best market value for money. These are the Castellini ones. Again, they're made very similar to these, but they're very much wide. And when you sit on, they've got the proper lenses. Again, I'm going to mention something else, the Pillar ones. I honestly believe the Castellini ones are much better. They've still got the Zeiss lenses, but if you put these on, they are so crisp. And this is why a lot of Castellini stuff, a lot of the top end Olympic shooters wear them. So again, if you want to go up from the non-budget stuff, I would say look at the Castellini glasses over and above anything else. There's a reason why a lot of the Olympic shooters wear them, and that is because they are the much better glasses. Again, if you're looking at a budget, I wouldn't bother going this. I'd stick to the Evolution glasses. The Peltor earphones, again, you need to make sure the Peltor earphones, they come down there, they cut down there. They're not very thick. When you put them on your head, they come up and you mount there. These are £30. They're a budget set, but Peltor have been making earphones for years and years and years. They get it right. There are cheaper on the market, but honestly, don't go even cheaper than that. You can get these slightly cheaper, but generally £25, £30 is about right. And they do these, and they do electronic ones. Again, for the more expensive stuff, the SWATCOM ones, but again, you're looking at more £250, £300 mark. Again, you get a discount code through the TSC if you want to buy these. That is the basic kit you need to think about. Skeet vest, safety glasses, ear defenders. I'm going to say the only other thing that I would put into that is a baseball cap. You can get a baseball cap. Generally, if you buy a gun, a lot of people will throw a baseball cap in, or you can ask for the TSC baseball cap. So generally, £20, £25 will get you a half decent baseball cap. And you want to have a baseball cap when you're walking around the ground because of bits of clay landing on your head. So that is your basic gear. But I've got all these guns. I've got a row of guns on the table here, from £250 right the way up to sort of £9,000. So I've got something that fits every single budget. Now, the biggest thing I would suggest, and a lot of people knock me for saying this, I would find yourself a shooting school that has got a gun shop that is part of their group. Because if you go, and my suggestion is, you go there and you book a lesson, and then you can try 2 or 3. But if you go to a shooting school that's got a gun shop that is part of them, not an independent gun shop, they are not there just to sell you a gun. They are there to make sure you're right. And most of the proper shooting schools, they want you to be their customer as a shooter. So they are not necessarily going to sell you the wrong gun. They are going to sell you the right gun. And if anyone goes in there, think to yourself, set yourself a budget. You can have a budget of £200, you can have a budget of £10,000. But set yourself a budget and make sure you stick to that budget with your kit and with your gun. So I've got a better solly here. The biggest thing you need to think about is the comb is high enough for when you mount this gun, you can see over the top of this rib. You can get as complicated as you like with gun fit, and there's a lot of people out there that you see on over the internet. You've got things bolted onto the end of your barrels, you've got things bolted onto here, you've got big things here. It's all a big money thing. You do not, when you first start, you do not need all that extra gear. If you want an adjustable comb, I've got some with an adjustable comb, but you don't need to buy the extra. So you don't need to buy the extra recoil pads. You don't need to buy extra adjustable combs. All you're looking at is the comb is high enough for you to see over the top of that rib. So if you Google, if you look on there, you see so much gear. You don't need it. Any decent shooting school will help you buy that gun within that lesson. And that is really exactly how I would recommend buying that gun, because there's so much. I've got a cheap fab arm. Again, fab arms are a cheap gun. £250. They're not a particularly fantastic gun, but they are good. They're good quality guns for the money. £250. I've got an ATA, starting price £600 odd. I've got a Yield It, adjustable comb. They do adjustable comb, non-adjustable comb, a little bit further up, sort of £750, that sort of thing. I've then got a Better Zolly. Again, a little bit lower in the comb, so fits somebody a little bit more fatter in the face. £1,000 starting at. I've got a 525, £1,500. Again, fantastic guns, got a lot of height in the comb. £1,500. I've then got a Beretta Grade 1. Again, similar to the other Italian gun manufacturers in this pile, Better Zollies, a little bit low in the comb, but they're £1,600. I've then got a Blaser, which you're stepping up quite a lot. They start at £3,500, £4,000, and they go up to sort of £8,000 to £9,000. Again, Browning, Beretta do them in that sort of price range as well. I've just picked these random guns just to show you that it's not the gun, it's not the brand you need to be looking at, it's whether the gun fits you. So if you are thinking about buying your first gun, and you are thinking about, what do I do? There's so many gun manufacturers. Forget about guns. Forget about it. Pick up the phone or message, find your local shooting school, say to them, I'm looking at buying a gun. If they don't say, the best thing you can do is come in and have a lesson. We can try 3 or 4 different guns within that lesson. And then once you shoot those 3 or 4 different guns, then you can find out which one fits you correctly, which one doesn't. You do not need to take a gun off the shelf, put an adjustable comb on it, put recoil pads, put all this. You don't. There's enough gun manufacturers out there that will fit the average Joe Bloggs out there. Okay, if you get into shooting and you're looking at moving up into the Olympic level, then yes, you've got to go to a manufacturer, you've got to have a gun built. But when you're first starting, don't think like that. Forget guns. Go and have a think about different gun manufacturers. Go and have a think about how to learn to shoot first, and then buy a gun off the back of that. A shooting school that has a gun room as part of the shooting school will not have any biased information about a manufacturer. They are there to teach people to shoot. The gun bit is the secondary part of it. Whereas if you go to a shooting school or a shooting grounds that has got a gunshot bolted onto the side of it that isn't part of the same group, you've got two different conflicting questions. They want to sell you a gun, they want to teach you to shoot. So if you go to somewhere that's got the whole thing, and I can think of half a dozen, 8 just within the Midlands area that is like that. So that is the biggest thing. If anyone has a question about buying their first gun and how they want to buy their first gun, please contact us at theshootingchannel.co.uk or comment below. If anyone thinks the same thing and thinks, I've watched all these YouTube films, I've watched all this advertising in magazines, how do I buy my first gun? And they think to yourself, I'm just completely baffled. Message below and Alex will help you to pick that right gun and put you in touch with a local shooting school. And the only reason why I wanted to do this film is I've had about 9 different messages in the last couple of days about, I've seen all these guns, I've seen all your videos you're doing, but it's so confusing about buying my first gun. And this is why I wanted to say this. I've got these manufacturers. I've got manufacturers that advertise on the shooting channel. I've got manufacturers that don't advertise on the shooting channel. It's not about an advertising. It's about getting the right gun for that particular shooter or for that particular person and what job you're going to do it for. So whether you're going to go clay shooting, whether you're going to go game shooting, whatever you're going to do that job for, and that is what you will learn within that lesson at that shooting school. So again, these are just a random gun and this is a random bit of kit, but you've got to think to yourself, how do I buy? Where do I go? I hope you've enjoyed this video and thanks for watching. Please, if there's anything you would like to know about buying your first gun, please comment below, because that is what this channel is for. It's about growing the sport. It's about getting people into the sport. So please message below, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.